Hey, Gumbox here. So, you might be asking yourself, why do I have the mobile Madden behind me, screenshots of it with NFL 100? Well, first part, this video, obviously you can tell by the title, I'm going to be predicting the NFL 100 going forward, and there's a little key here on the solo challenges in mobile that I haven't seen too many people talk about at all, and if we're being frank, no, I'm forgot Fox, not Frank. So there's 4 running backs there. There are 7 defensive linemen here. So we suspect, and mobile's not always the same as console. Their team of the week's the same. Their legends are different. They got CJ2K and Cromartie already, which we don't have on console. But with the numbers here, I'm kind of feeling on these solo challenges, this is going to kind of indicate how many people we're getting. So there, as you see, it's hovered over D-line linebacker there. Then we're going to get DBs and safeties there. And then the week after that, we're getting O-line tight ends. We're only getting 6 of those. 4 wide receivers and 4 quarterbacks, according to the images and the shadows there. So far, week 1, it's kind of matched up to each other. We'll see confirmation this upcoming weekend if we do get 7 defensive linemen and linebackers. So let's go through and predict, all right? As you see, the running backs we got, I went through in Pro Football Reference, and I basically dumped the top career values or approximate value for all the players at the positions in NFL history to go with the top 10, top 40 right there, players by average value. And then we got these 4. So we got Emmitt Smith, number 1, Barry Sanders, number 5, Jim Brown. Where was he at again? He's number 16, and the number 23, Eric Dickerson. Now, of course, there were more people. There were 12 running backs, I believe, inducted there in the NFL 100. We got 4 of them. So who knows what EA is going to put in? Who knows what 12 is going to get inducted? Of course, this is just speculation on what we think. So next week, we're getting D-line, linebackers. We're going to get 7 of them. And these are kind of my predictions of what going forward. Like, I'm pretty confident Lawrence Taylor is going to get one. Like, he's going to be a beast. If he gets a card near his Thanksgiving card last year, which was, like, basically endgame, he will make it very hard, especially if he's activated to the game, to run to that side. We'll see what the activation is. A lot of these things, the evaluation of the running back, like I talked about during the review, is based off the X factor being activated, and of course stats do play a difference, and you don't see as many pass rushers activated as you used to because it's a running game now, especially with the NFL 100 guys in it. So here are the average values. Of course, I was surprised to see Derek Brooks and Junior Seau so high on the list, but hey, there they are. So I think it's gonna be Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, Alan Page, Bruce Smith. Then the other linebackers, besides for like Lawrence Taylor, I think they're only have 1 Steeler on the list of 7, although like more than one would definitely deserve it. It's going to be Mean Joe Green, Jack Ham, Jack Lambert. One of those 3, I guess, for this position. Most likely Mean Joe, so I put him first. But if they decided to go like Jack Ham, then they would probably put like a middle linebacker. Like they'd probably go like Nitschke over Brooks. They'd have like 1 outside linebacker, 2 middles. So that way they'd be like 2 outside linebackers with Lawrence Taylor because he's there. Again, this is just raw speculation. I could be wildly wrong on who they actually got the rights for, too, for EA. But if they go Jack Lambert, then I could see them going a Derek Brooks there. Or, I mean, even if they don't go Jack Lambert, they go Mean Joe, I can still see Derek Brooks. It's going to have 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends, outside linebacker, 2 middle linebackers for Lambert, or not, right? So that's kind of my guess. My guess is the first 7 of them: Lawrence Taylor, Mean Joe Green, Singletary, Brooks. But there's so many deserving guys. Ray Lewis has a high overall card, which is why he didn't make my list. A lot of the Mutt 10 cards, like, Gronk for tight ends, he's not going to make the list because he has a high card, just got one. But Peppers got a high card. They could bring in new faces too, which I suspect they'll bring in a few. Obviously, Alan Page has got a card, White, Smith. These all got cards this year except for Mean Joe, Singletary. Brooks has a card. So there's only 2 new ones there. I don't know if they're going to want to do that. I could see them going a little deeper and bringing in, say, like I said, Singletary could get one. Dolman. Suggs is an active player, so I don't think he's going to get one. We got an Urlacher a while back. It's been, a month and a half or 2. Warren Sapp. I could totally see Warren Sapp making it just for the new name. But the thing is, like, will Warren Sapp make the NFL 100? Once we get a little bit lower on this list, I could see it being harder for some of them. Like, I see Youngblood, because the NFL 100 list for running backs was older players, a lot of them. Nobody born after 1980, I think I saw made the list. So it could heavily favor the older guys. So even going down to like Bobby Bell range, too tall, could easily do it even though he's in game. I guess we'll see. George Blanda down here. We're going a little bit lower on the list. Dan Hampton. I could totally see Dan Hampton making it. He was pretty big there in the 80s. Basically dominated defensive line play. was pretty solid. I mean, throughout history of the NFL, defensive line play and rushing the passer, stopping the run, it's kind of been key to the whole dang thing. So, but these are kind of my safety guesses, I guess, of who's going to get the cards, at least these first names. But of course, always let me know who in the comments you guys think is going to get. So, on the cornerback safeties type of chart, I don't think Deion is going to get one because he's got a high-end card right now. Otherwise, the other ones would be like Ed Reed. Blunt could get one, but I basically said the top 7. I mean, it would make sense to me. Rod Woodson doesn't have a card this year. Lott doesn't have a card. Cross doesn't have a card. Woodson would be an amazing. We get double Woodson weekend. That'd be cool. Bailey would get upgraded. Barber, I believe, is in the game. Darrell Green was in the game last year. So, is Rondé in the game? I have trouble remembering year to year. Is Rondé with us? Rondé. Whoops, I put a slash mark there. Dang it. Clear. Rondé. No, Rondé's not in the game right now. So, Rondé could get a card too. So we'd have like one upgrade, then a bunch of new guys. Would be very nice. That would be very hot. But maybe they go ahead and put Dawkins and upgrade him if he makes the NFL 100. Like I say, like older names, more newer names into the 2000s. Maybe Champ Bailey doesn't even make the list. I'd assume Woodson would make the list. He was kind of a generational talent there at CB for Oakland and Green Bay. But moving down, I mean, there's a Steeler, Donnie Shell, another one, always deserves it. Palomalu we got in game, and Ty Law we got. So a lot of very large names, and the average value of a lot of these guys, it's an okay stat evaluating these players, but it's not an end all be all. It's kind of like war in baseball. It's pretty close, but it isn't nearly enough. All the way down onto Cliff Harris, Darren Woodson, Rodney Harrison. Those kind of players, even a current day Pat Pete, but this is generally going to be a legend list. So my predictions: top 7, just blow it out, just do those, bring them all in that weekend. I think that'd be kind of a neat weekend with the 2 Woodsons. But yeah, it did have 7 of them listed because the 7 has like CB. I mean, Woodson did play a little bit of safety, but CB, safety, CB, CB. Maybe they do one more safety. I could see Jack Tatum, like I said, the dark horse Jack Tatum in place of maybe Champ Bailey. Or Rondé Barber. I don't think Rondé Barber makes the NFL 100. I don't think he's gonna go that. So maybe that's a bad list. Champ Bailey I think is borderline on the NFL 100. So you got to take that into account too. Maybe these two don't even make the NFL 100, even though they're 5'6" in average value according to Pro Football. Not Focus, Pro Football Stats. So yeah, I'm probably wrong there. That'll be a good one. All right, offensive line and tight end is the week after. The 6 of these guys that I chose, so I chose 2 tight ends and 4 offensive linemen. Larry Allen, I chose them all at different positions. We took a guard, a center, left tackle, and another guard. Unfortunately, maybe I should bring another tackle in instead of a second guard. So that like get rid of maybe Matthews or Webster. I'm favoriting Webster, Steeler, even though he's ranked number 4. I know I'm gonna get some Steeler favoritism out of him. So maybe they can go put somebody in, maybe even like a person that played left tackle. They can throw him at right tackle. A Willie Rolfe. Have they done that to Willie Rolfe in the past? Made him a right tackle. I don't know. John Hanna. John Hanna was kind of he was a guard though. Darn it. I was gonna say he's a nice old name. That was a very solid player. Upshaw can make it. Yeah, I mean, so many potential names here. Otto was a center. Yeah, who knows what they do? Who knows? Orlando Pace, he might make it. Dermontti Dawson was amazing for the Steelers too. Ogden, I'm surprised he's not higher up in the rankings. He was probably the best of his era. Forrest Gregg. Like these are kind of like my more dark horses. If they get signed Forrest Gregg, he'd be the man. Forrest Gregg was probably the best tackle prior to Munoz, I would argue. Prior to Munoz coming in the league, I think Forrest Gregg was kind of like the standard bearer at tackle. I might be speaking out of turn here. Let me look at the other names, but yeah, that's kind of what I'd go with. Prior to Munoz, kind of like just being there and dominant for so long. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna stick with Forrest Gregg. I'm gonna move with Forrest Gregg up here and replace Matthews. I'm gonna take out a guard. There it is. There's my list. I'm gonna put him at right tackle, him at left tackle. 2 tight ends. I like it. All right. On to wide receivers. There's 4 of them that we're going to get according to the mobile images. 4 right here for wide receivers. As you see, it's highlighted 12/20, the week before Christmas. So we'll have a big Christmas promo coming on when these receivers hit the game. Those are the 4 I'm going with. Very highly rated. Hudson, of course, isn't rated that highly because it's kind of been, I mean, we got a lot of old running backs, but wide receivers really weren't, and you see by the tight end list, outside of like Gronk, Gates is still technically a free agent, not retired, so Gates could potentially get it. I don't know if he'll get in the NFL 100, but he might get it for a tight end, but prior, like, it really became a passing league, right? Through the 90s, 2000s, into today's era, is basically when the league kind of shifted from a run focus to a pass focus. So I could see a lot more newer faces like Moss, T.O. in the past couple decades, rather versus the running backs, where it was all older. Like I said, nobody born after 1980. So these are the 4 I'm going with 1 old face and 3 newer ones. Although, you know, I mean, they're not like spring chickens, of course, but there it is. A lot of arguments to be made here. Deion Sanders is referenced here just because he played that position, and it was just in the poll. He's not actually a wide receiver. He wouldn't be ranked here. This is all of his DB value. But, yeah, I mean, Steve Largent, Allworth, I wrote him down specifically, too, as one of the better older players. I don't want to forget to mention them. Chris Carter. Chris Carter would be tough making the NFL 100, like, when we get a little bit lower here. But, like, the longer you play to go, the better chance you got to get in. Like, Art Monk, I think I remember him being a pretty darn good blocking wide receiver from Maddens of past. He had high run block back then. Bolitnikoff. They named an award after him. And quarterbacks. At least in college. So, Manning, Young, Unitas, Favre. I think all 4 are going to make the NFL 100. I mean, I feel like there's going to be a bunch of quarterbacks. Brett Favre could easily be Joe Montana football. I saw some people saying Joe Montana football is a competing game for Madden. It's not. It was like a mobile game in 2016, and I haven't seen any updates on it in, 3 years here? It's 2019. And the guy who created the game hasn't tweeted since that time. So Joe Montana, I think his rights are up. So if it's not Brett Favre, I could totally see a Joe Montana in there in place of Favre. But I really want a Unitas, and I think these 2 would be nice, like, just like the running backs. Half of them are going to be upgraded from older ones. Half of them are going to be new cards in the game. So I can see Unitas would be kind of like the dream. We haven't had in a while. Tarkenton, I don't think we've had in MUT either. So Tarkenton instead of 1-1 would be nice. But, yeah, I mean, Moon's got an outside shot at it. But, yeah, I think here's the biggest thing that I fear about this NFL 100. The biggest thing I fear about is, like, say something like Peyton Manning comes equipped with his X Factor, which is automatically read every coverage. I mean, how broken is that, right? I'm a little concerned with the NFL 100 and the activating X Factors and, like, saying, hey, what's the point of upgrading these guys? Because X Factors activating is quite powerful. Yes, you could tackle him behind the line of scrimmage, but generally that takes a little bit. A sack on Peyton when he knows your entire defensive formation and what you're running and your coverage, so they can specifically, like, even if you audible, you got to put him in, like, bluff blitzes and stuff, but I guess you'll be able to see he's active, then you'll do a lot of bluff blitzes. Man, that is just, I feel like that's game-changing, but I mean, Peyton Manning was game-changing. Finally something to balance out the Andrew Lucks of the world. Is it crazy Andrew Luck's the best quarterback in the game still, after all these months, because of that dashing dead eye? So, Manning, Young will probably be an updated left-handed, with his improviser chem. I'm guessing, I don't know what Unitas for Favre. Favre would probably be an improviser chem too. So Favre can get 82 speed. Hopefully it's young Favre instead of old Favre there. So, but like for the running back specifically, circling back to that, final thoughts of the NFL 100, I'm a little concerned, like, what's the point of upgrading for the next few months in running backs? Like, say we get a Team of the Week running back this week. They're not going to be better than this, especially with the X Factors activated. Like, these guys shut down. NFL 100 shuts down the position for a few months. So, is the game going to get too stale? Because how do you top this? With a few stats? Emmett, like, some of these, Barry Sanders, without a theme team, I think has 97 speed. 97 speed is, it's not endgame, but it's for the next 4 months. Wow. Yeah, so I guess we'll see how they make us want new cards after the NFL 100 program goes through. But anyways, that's it for the video. Let me know who you guys think are getting cards going forward. Thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you tomorrow.